Hello and welcome. My name is Barry Naroff, and I'm a spiritual intuitive and also a New York State licensed psychotherapist. The topic for today is going to be on the subject of stress, something that at various times in people's lives everyone can relate to. Some people, of course, carry more stress, some carry less stress. But everyone at some point in their life does get stressed. Now, stress is a multifaceted subject. Stress can be due to external causes. Stress can be due to internal causes, meaning psychological thoughts, feelings, fears, whatever. Now, when it's due to a external cause, stress is entirely subjective. Some people find stress from all kinds of situations. They see themselves as limited in capacity, fragile, not able to cope well with situations. Others are much more resilient. They see themselves as, oh, it's just another challenge. I'll get through it just like I have all the others. And depending upon how one perceives oneself in a stressful situation, that determines whether one becomes stressed or not. Stress, of course, is somewhat tightening of the chest, rapidly heartbeat. It could be butterflies in the stomach. It could be like thoughts swirling around inside of your head. Certainly triggers high blood pressure, high cortisol levels. These are different reactions, physiological reactions of the body when the mind is stressed. We're not talking about physical stress, like in a workout when you become very stressed from exercising. No, we're talking about psychological stress. Now, people who are comfortable with themselves, feel that they have a good handle, that they're confident, secure, tend to become stressed by external situations much less and recover much more quickly. And they don't go into as stressful a reaction as others. People who see themselves as vulnerable, as not really having that much ability to control their life, not much power in their life, become stressed much more easily. And this sense of stress can last longer and be deeper. And for those who truly are stressed, it can result in panic attacks. Now, the other kind of stress is the purely subjective stress. And this has to do with interpersonal dynamics, social relations. There's a whole group of people who have something called social anxiety, where going into groups or performing in front of others, public speaking, highly stressful, induces sort of a panic attack. The mind goes blank, the heart races, just can't handle it. These are the ones who take Valium when they have to do things, or all kinds of herbal remedies, etc., etc. But then there's the majority of people who don't have necessarily social anxiety, and social anxiety is not so much a one-to-one thing, though in really severe cases it could extend to all social interactions. And people who have it tend to be somewhat hermit-like. They don't like it. They don't like isolating themselves. They tend to be very lonely because they're desperate for interactions, and yet it scares them so much. But that's social anxiety. And there's all different levels, from severe to people who are almost afraid to go out of the house and do everything online and everything that's possible, to those who are just afraid of large groups, but are fine in small groups and definitely love individual gatherings. But the other kind of stress is the reaction to social situations or interpersonal dynamics. Oh my God, I don't know if she likes me. Is he going to want to go out with me? And they ruminate in their head over and over and over. And I don't know if I can handle this. And they get themselves so emotionally worked up that by the time comes, if they do go out, it's not fun. So these types of stressors, and there's many, many others, the best way to handle it is there's many, many different techniques. The same when we were talking about tranquility, meditation, biofeedback. One can take herbs to calm oneself down. One can go to the watcher. But stress can also be handled simply by being aware of, okay, what the heck am I so scared of? Sometimes the conscious mind is going to be able to figure it out, in which case then you can just release it and say, this is stupid. There's nothing to be afraid of. Sometimes the subconscious has to be connected with. And for those who can, same thing. You connect with the subconscious, get a sense what it's so scared of. Many times what the subconscious is scared of is not going to be logical at all. But it's scared, and you still need to help because inside there's a sense of fear and vulnerability, and you can't just whitewash it. Another way of dealing with stress is by just getting in touch with the feelings of stress. And you don't necessarily always have to go and find out what it's all about and what the content is. Just get in touch with the feeling of anxiety. Is it in your stomach? Is it in your heart? And just connect with it. When you connect with it temporarily, it will probably become worse. And then as you continue to stay connected with it, you will see that it starts to come more and more up to the surface, and then it starts to ease out. Now, for some people, this is palliative. For others, it can be curative. It depends on the dynamics of the situation, how harsh the stress is, whether it's a fierce external stress that is ongoing, or if it's a social situation that you constantly have to go to. For example, somebody who has a job, which they do well in and they love, but on a periodic basis, they have to present to the group what their thoughts and ideas are. For some people, that's fine. And others, oh my God, it is so stressful. It preoccupies their thoughts. They can become almost compulsive in their fear of the subject and obsess about it. And then when they do it, even though they know their stuff really well, they stammer, they're somewhat incoherent, they have to read notes, they can't be extemporaneous in speech, meaning just spontaneously speaking, which is what I love doing, by the way. But it's very, very worrisome. And the worst part of stress for people who tend to be obsessive is that they think about the situation over and over and over. And each time they do this, they're fueling the reaction to stress, and basically they're driving themselves nuts. So these are some dynamics relating to stress, some techniques to deal with it. And the last type of stress that I would like to talk about is frequently a combination of external reality and psychological dynamics. Money is a biggie oh my God, I don't have enough money. How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to handle this? How am I going to apportion it? Now, there are certain things that have to be paid. I'm going to have to contact some of my creditors. What am I going to say? I have to deal with this. Oh my God, what are all the things that I have to do? I have to get organized. And then the brain starts spinning, the thoughts start spinning, it becomes stressful, you can't think clearly, the heart races, and then you take a rather matter-of-fact situation and build it up into something pretty huge, at least in your mind. The last comment I want to make is that stress is entirely subjective. There's no objective reality to stress. For some, climbing a mountain, wrestling an alligator, it's not stressful at all. And for others, the thought of just writing an essay or making a phone call can put them into a panic. It's totally, totally subjective. Each individual has their own reaction to stress, their own levels of stressors and how deeply they react, and all stress with the proper techniques can be helped. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. My name is Barry Naroff. If you wish to read up a little bit more about me, I have a webpage called Birthright Therapy. If you want to write me, you can do so at barry@birthrighttherapy.com. And should you want to have a little assistance with whatever you're going through, feel free to either write me on my email or just write a comment and I'll get back to you. If you have any questions or if you want any particular topic to be discussed, feel free to let me know. And until the next time, goodbye.